It's almost like Jurgen Klopp is coming up with new and more ridiculous ways to win football matches just to make sure that Liverpool fans really do miss him when he departs Anfield at the end of this season. And another crazy victory in difficult circumstances really tonight. A 3-0 win over Southampton in the FA Cup, and that moves the Reds into the quarter-finals. And I say really a crazy win because so much again was against Liverpool coming into this one. Now, we already know they had a mad injury list at the moment, a really lengthy one. They'd lost Ryan Gravenberch in their last game as well, but they'd also lost Wataru Endo and Andy Robertson coming into this one. Robertson due to illness, and Endo, I just think because of the exertions of that cup final, they put so much in against Chelsea. And I think that as well, the cup final itself had a big impact on selection. There were so many players you couldn't ask to go again. They put so much in on that massive Wembley pitch that, you know, the manager had to go with a crazy selection. He also wasn't helped in that his bench wasn't any stronger because Mohamed Salah, Dominic Szoboszlai and Darwin Núñez, 3 players who he thought might have had a chance for this one, weren't able to be in the squad at all. So as I say, a much weakened Liverpool squad on paper. And to be honest, when you looked at the team sheet, I kind of thought, you know, maybe this is the one where the winning run comes to an end. It could be a step too far against a confident Southampton team. But nothing of the like, really. I mean, that feeling was actually strengthened in the opening minutes of the game. Southampton had a really, really strong start. They were kind of dominant, really. They were catching Liverpool high up the pitch, creating turnovers and getting chances, and they hit the post and also had, you know, a couple of shots that dribbled wide. They went really, really close and looked really dominant in that early stages. So as I said, it strengthened your feeling almost that Southampton were maybe going to be the winners in this tie. But Liverpool, as always, just find this reserve of character and quality, and they come out winners, and not just winners through throwing on a couple of first team stars late on or anything like that, or hanging on. They win it thanks to goals from 2 18-year-olds who were making the first and third appearances of their Liverpool careers thus far, coming on and scoring the goals. Just an unbelievable story, really. And this is just a dream season, isn't it, really? Everything Klopp touches at the moment seems to turn to gold, and just like I say, it's against Championship opposition, but another remarkable win, really, and to do it at Anfield as well with the fans, you know, who've just witnessed a miracle in the Carabao Cup as well. It's just been an incredible run at the moment against all the odds. Yes, Liverpool absolutely need to get some players back soon. There's no doubt about that, but at the moment they're going incredibly well with what they've got. And as I say, just proof again that Jurgen Klopp is a genius, and he will be massively missed when he departs at the end of the season. Now, of course, the fact that Liverpool go through, I mentioned in my preview of this game that obviously that pushes back that game against Everton in the Premier League, so that is helpful in terms of getting players back for that. That will be now later in the season, and hopefully Liverpool's squad looks in better shape by the time they go to Goodison Park, because that is always a difficult fixture. Of course, the bad news is that instead of that game, yes, they've got another FA Cup game, and unfortunately it's going to be against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Now, I know Man United aren't going particularly well this season. They really are struggling, but you know, with Liverpool, with the injury problems they've got, you know, going there, it's always tricky, isn't it? United are always going to get up for it, and the team that Liverpool are going to have to name is very much going to be a patched up one again. So yeah, it's a bit of a sort of a mixed news for Liverpool on that front. They pushed that Everton game back, but they have got the Manchester United game instead. But we'll worry about that one when it comes around. Let's focus on what happened tonight, and I'm going to go through the individual performances as ever. Let me know what you thought of the performance and thought of the individuals and their showings today as well in the comments. Always interested to hear from you guys. So I'll start, of course, with the goalkeeper, Kevin Kelleher, and I thought, you know, another massively important showing from him. Of course, you know, still no Alisson at the moment, so he's going to still be in for the cup, and also, you know, in the Premier League at the moment. And you know, look how good he was in the Carabao Cup at the weekend. He basically won that final. I said, oh, you know, his contribution's almost as good as a hat-trick, really, or as close as a goalkeeper can get on that front. And I thought, okay, he wasn't quite at that level today, but he was just as important to Liverpool. He makes 3 saves, and they're big saves, some one-on-ones, as I spoke about when Southampton had a lot of good moments in this game, and he was really on top of those, and he prevents 1.12 expected goals on target, so not quite the 3 he did at Wembley, which again was a ridiculous number, but still very, very impressive, and showed that, you know, he had a big hand in Liverpool winning this, because I think if Southampton had gone ahead, it would have been difficult for an inexperienced Liverpool side to cope with that. But you know, Kevin Kelleher's there to save you all the time, isn't he? He's a mini Alisson almost, and another remarkable performance from him, really, really good. And I talk about Conor Bradley next in starting up with the defence, and I thought he had maybe a mixed start to the game. Maybe the tiredness, the mental fatigue of Wembley was maybe telling on him a little bit, and you can kind of see it in his numbers. 0 out of 2 tackles won, 2 out of 5 ground duels. Usually puts up much better numbers than that on the defensive side, and I did think actually that Southampton, they were really strong down the sides, and that was an area where they really threatened. So that maybe shows you why Bradley, maybe struggled on that front a little bit. But I think, as I say, I thought he got better as the game went on. He really started to look a little bit more dominant down that side, and started to really close down Southampton's threat as well. So in the end, I thought a decent performance from him in the end, even though it had a bit of a mixed start for him. Now, alongside him in central defence, one of these came on as a substitute, was Konate actually, but I'll talk about them both because he played 45 minutes each, and that's Van Dijk and Konate, and I just thought both of them really were pretty flawless when they were on. Like I said, Southampton had moments, but I thought these two were very much at the centre of snuffing some of that out. They were just absolutely leaders, and they had to be, because you had so many kids around them, such a mix of a team really, and Virgil van Dijk and Konate are just both absolutely world-class centre-backs, aren't they? They had to show it in moments today, and they very much did, and led the defence really well. So having a half each, good to not put 90 minutes in either of the legs, to be honest, and I thought very, very good performances from both of them as leaders, and both as in terms of their overall defending as well. Now, alongside them was Jarell Quansah, and I thought another decent performance from him. Never lets you down when you throw him into the team. I mean, you could see as much on that front really from the fact that Klopp uses him late in the game in the Carabao Cup final. But again, really, really solid again today. 4 defensive actions, 97% pass completion. I think he completed more passes than any other player on the pitch actually. So saw a lot of the ball and used it really, really well. And also a couple of moments where I saw a bit of recovery pace from him, which is one of the things I've maybe been a little worried about with him. Is he quick enough? Does he have that Van Dijk-like pace? But a couple of moments where Southampton got in behind and he got back really well. So that's quite encouraging from him, and something we haven't really seen a lot of in his performances. Now, I'll finish up the defence now with Tsimikas. I'm a big fan. I make no secret of that, in terms of, you're not going to get many better backup players in any position really than Tsimikas, and I mean, fresh from providing the assist for the winner in the Carabao Cup final. I thought a decent performance from him. 3 out of 9 ground duels won. Okay, you'd like that to be a little bit higher, but 9 defensive actions, so he's heavily involved defensively, and 2 chances created. So he does a lot for you on both sides of the ball, and absolutely did that again. And again, you're in a patched up team, it's not always going to work particularly well, but he stuck to his task, and it was one of the more solid performers out there. So a decent job from Tsimikas, which, as I say, I think you always get that from him. Now, I'll move into the midfield, and I'll start in the holding role because it was a bit of a surprise pick. Now, I said before the match I didn't want to see Endo anywhere near this, didn't want to see McAllister either. They put in so much at Wembley. And so instead we got a bit of a left field pick, and it was Joe Gomez in that role. Now, I've never seen that before, and I don't want to be too harsh. It wasn't perfect, I'll say that much. I think there was moments when you could see his positioning was a little bit all over the place, but I'm not going to criticise him for that. He's playing a position I don't think he's probably ever played in his life, and I thought he did a decent job in there as well. Yes, there were moments where his positioning wasn't right, but he wins 3 out of 5 duels overall, 91% passing accuracy as well. So, and a couple of really good moments of composure in midfield as well. So not natural to him at all, and he had 2 kids either side of him. So, good on Joe Gomez, great effort really, and I thought, and I don't think he's going to be asked to do that again this season, but he's come in and helped Liverpool win 3-0 there in the end. So, no criticism of him as a midfielder. Absolutely did a great job, and he's so versatile, isn't he? He's another string to his bow now. Been absolutely brilliant this season. So, alongside him, I'll start with Bobby Clark, who I thought was really, really bright again. I'll talk about one thing that I think is a little bit of a weakness for him. Again, don't want to be too critical. He's done brilliantly since he's come into the team, but he wins 3 out of 12 ground duels, and the fact he's involved in 12 shows you that he's really, really busy, wants to get involved in tackling, winning the ball high up the pitch, which is brilliant, great quality to have. But the fact he only wins 3 sort of tells you, I think one of his weaknesses is the fact that he's not a little bit bigger yet. Nothing he can really do about that. He needs to fill out, needs to grow. He's a young kid, so you can expect that. But I think that's something that will come with him, and I think when he gets that, he's going to be absolutely unbelievable, because his overall game was great today. I mean, 3 chances created, 91% passing accuracy. He provides the assist for the opener with a pass that I think kind of sums up his game really. Fires it in between the lines. He sees the pass. fires it onto Koumas' foot to almost he fires it with information on it. He tells Koumas where he wants him to go, where he thinks the space is going to be, and I thought it was a really incisive pass and a great contribution. I thought Clark was very good overall, and like I say, that physical deficit that he's got, he'll get there on that front. And James McConnell was the other midfielder, and I thought, I spoke after the game at Wembley about how influential he was, and I think very much less so in this game. Now, he comes on just before extra time at Wembley and has 47 touches and only has 30 here, which I think shows you he's not as involved in the play, not as dominant as he was in that game. He only wins 1 out of his 6 ground duels, but it's a different game, and I think Southampton made a lot in the first half in particular of trying to press and bully Liverpool's younger midfielders, and did a decent job of that. And you can't criticise James McConnell and Bobby Clark for not being 6'2" and huge players like some of the first teamers around them. They are teenagers and they are going to be easily pushed off the ball at times, but I thought what McConnell did was, when he had the ball, he used it really well. 92% passing accuracy. We know he's really safe in that, really comfortable with the ball. And that winning ground duel, similar to Bobby Clark, it will come. Just a couple of difficult moments for him in this game. But wow, again, I'm being uber critical there, because these lads have took part in a 3-0 win, which is in really, really difficult circumstances. So unbelievable performances in that context, absolutely. Now, I'll move into the front three, and I'll start with maybe Harvey Elliott. I think obviously he picks up an assist at the end of the game. In fact, I won't even talk about that to start with. I want to talk with Harvey Elliott about how the hell was he in the team today. Unbelievable effort. What he did against Luton, playing the entire 90 minutes again in a patched up team. Then he does the whole 120 minutes against Chelsea at Wembley. Unbelievable physical effort he put into that. And then he goes again here and he only gets subbed off late on. Just testament to his tirelessness and his work ethic. Absolutely brilliant from him. He would die for the shirt, wouldn't he? He absolutely loves Liverpool, and the fact he's made himself available again to play today shows that and underlines it. And he ends the game with an assist, a really lovely pass for Dan's. He wins 0 out of his 6 ground duels, which again, physically, I think Southampton were trying to take advantage of that weakness with him, and he absolutely has the excuse of the fact that he just put in so much over those games against Luton and Chelsea. I will not criticise him for that, but he gets an assist, he creates 4 chances, he's so lively, isn't he? He's been a brilliant squad option this season, I think. So yeah, he backs that up again today for me. And next in the front line we'll talk about is Cody Gakpo. I thought kind of quiet, and he can have better games than this, but he's still surprising me that he ends up with 4 shots. So he was involved in situations. One actually was from an unbelievable first time pass from Clark that puts him in, and he probably should get his shot away quicker, and if he does, he probably scores in that situation. But he generated a lot of chances. He was getting into positions. We always praise Nunez for that when he does it. So Gakpo, did enough on that front. You just would have liked to have seen him get a goal, but again, he's in a team that's not functioning perfectly. It's patched up, thrown together, and he did his job in terms of getting chances. And I thought, not a perfect performance, but again, don't want to be too critical of anyone who played in this game and helped Liverpool get over the line. And I'll just finish off the starters now with Lewis Koumas, who he looked so lively, I thought, in the start of the game. Even again, he was another one who struggled with the strength of the Southampton players, the Southampton defenders. Got a little bullied in moments where it was the ball was tight to him, but he still looked lively. He was getting in positions, and then he takes his goal brilliantly in terms of just making that yard. Like I said, Clark's pass, there's information on it. He tells him where to go and to cut inside, and he gets his shot away. And yes, it gets a little deflection, but you don't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. And he absolutely gets himself in position to get the shot away and scores the goal. And once Liverpool are 1-0 ahead, that's a massive moment in the game. As I say, I think if Southampton had gone ahead, I think that would have made it really difficult for Liverpool. But the fact that Liverpool go ahead sets them up really to be in charge of the game and to boss it a little more. And I think it's testament to the fact that when they go ahead, the fact that at the end the statistics actually is the better side, despite Southampton having dominated early on. Liverpool take 18 shots to Southampton's 12, 6 shots on target to Southampton's 3, and I think Liverpool get four big chances as well to Southampton's 3. So I just think it shows that Liverpool sort of recovered from maybe a tricky start to the match, and after that Koumas goal in particular, second half they were much better, and to be doing that with the kids out is just absolutely crazy, isn't it? So I'm just going to finish up by talking about the subs now as well. Some brilliant performances there, and not least Jayden Danns. Now, I spoke about him in the build up to this game when I was picking a team for it, and I actually had him in the starting 11, and I said that when he's been on the pitch for Liverpool, he's only made 2 appearances previously. He looks like he can sniff a goal out. Now we know that in the academy, but it's a different level stepping up to do that at first team level, and so. But I still thought we saw evidence that he was getting into positions where he was getting half chances, and if the ball had fallen nicely for him, that he would get goals, and he absolutely proved me right today. I'm so pleased about it. To get 2 goals, and the fact he gets 2 goals, he comes on and has 6 touches of the ball, gets 4 shots, 3 of those shots are on target and 2 ending goals, and the first one, unbelievable striker's finish in terms of the little dink of the goalkeeper, such incredible confidence, really, like I say, a striker's finish, really brilliantly taken. And then the second one is sniffing when the ball's going to be loose and getting there first and creating a tap-in for yourself. Really good striker's instincts, and I like a lot about him. His hold-up play is really good, it physically looks great, looks ready for men's football, so got high hopes for Danns already. I mean, he's on his 3rd appearance for Liverpool already. He's got 2 goals and 1 trophy, and well, that bodes incredibly well, doesn't it? I thought a brilliant performance from him off the bench tonight, and really, really excited about what's to come from him in the future. And a couple more subs I want to mention is Alexis Mac Allister. He comes on for the last 27 minutes, and I think he's a real big part of why Liverpool control that last part of the game. They really take it away from Southampton at that point, and that's because he wins 4 out of 6 ground duels, 2 out of 4 tackles, and he has a 95% passing accuracy. So I thought Mac Allister was massive in terms of giving control back to Liverpool, and made it really quite easy to see it out, and which you didn't expect when it was around 1-0 and Southampton had threatened early on. You thought they'd come strong again, but Liverpool just got better and better, and Mac Allister a massive part of that. And I also want to mention Trey Ione, who comes on. He's 16 years old. Has said, Jurgen Klopp clearly has big faith in him. He's trained a lot with the first team. And I thought he looked really, really confident when he came on. He wanted the ball. He was requesting the ball. He only makes 7 passes, but he completes all 7. And I like the way he was moving the ball. He looked like he knew exactly what he was supposed to do in a Jurgen Klopp team. So, this is just a first taste of being around the senior side. But, again, another really exciting young player who's got a lot of potential. So, really looking forward to seeing more of him. And I'm sure this is just the start. So that sums up my take on the game and how I saw it. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought. Who was your man of the match? How incredible is this run Liverpool are on? Can they keep it going? What do you think about the fact that it's not Nottingham Forest up next in the Premier League, and then of course we've got Manchester United in the Cup next as well? Are you happy about that? Are you glad that Everton game's pushed back? So much going on at the moment. So of course I'll be back for the build up to the Nottingham Forest game, and there's so much more to come beyond that, of course. So if you could like and subscribe to follow along and keep this incredible Liverpool season going, and follow me as I follow the Reds as they're pushing for a quadruple still, aren't they? So it's such an exciting time. So I'll leave you with that, and of course the build up to Nottingham Forest will come soon on the channel, so I'll see you then.